Big breakfast, Robbie and Adam this morning. Now, it is an absolute pleasure to have the always busy, always seems to be doing something, Jimmy Barnes. Mate, thanks for joining us on the show today.
How are you guys? Yeah, I am a bit busy. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're not too bad this morning, Jimmy. Stories and Songs, the tour that started last year, you're still doing it.
Yeah, we've done a lot of shows. I mean, some of these shows were gone round for the second time because there's people who missed it, and it's been really popular, really well received. I'm thrilled with it.
As it should be, mate. Adam comes in this morning when we knew we were going to interview you, and he goes, here's the list of stuff we can talk to Jimmy Barnes about, and we've got all sorts of business. Argyle Diamonds, Ord Valley Muster, the new book, the tour. Man, let's start off with Argyle Diamonds, Ord Valley Muster. You excited to go along?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be incredible. I mean, we're playing at the big Kimberley Moon experience, so it's going to be the biggest party of the muster, I guess. So it should be excellent.
Have you been to Kununrra before? I think you've done this before. Yeah,
I've done this one. It must be 6-7 years ago. That was really great. Beautiful area, incredible festival. It was really, really great night. I think this time of year up that way is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. Of course, we're coming up. We've got a couple of our mates. We've got Daryl's coming up, Daryl Braithwaite. So it's going to be awesome. Daryl's one of my. I used to watch Daryl when I was a kid. He's unbelievable.
What do you mean you used to watch him when you were a kid?
He was a young singer. When I first moved to Sydney, Colchester, when I was 18 years old. Daryl was the biggest singer in the country. He was like the Beatles here, with Sherbet. They were incredible. So Daryl and I have been mates since then. He's a fantastic singer, really good bloke.
That's amazing, mate. Just thinking about the times that you've been up to Northern WA, because it's quite a few. Where's your favourite parts or any favourite moments?
Listen, last time I did the Muster, the Kimberley Moon, I stayed up and I went out to the Ord River. I went and stayed at a camp and went fishing for like 4 days, which was pretty amazing. The barramundi fishing, but just because it's so harsh and stark and beautiful, that's pretty good. I've got lots of friends in Broome. I spent a lot of time up in Broome, up northwest. The Pigram brothers, Alan Pigram's a good mate of mine. So we got there and we spent time, cooking and eating and fishing and drinking with his family. It was really good.
Well, mate, from regional Western Australia, we're going to talk about you being probably the most rockinest granddad ever, because you are working with the Wiggles. You must be really popular with the grandkids.
Very popular. No, they love the Wiggles. I've known the Wiggles for 35 years. I've known like 30 odd years. So when they were the Cockroaches, we used to be managed by the same people as coaches or the same group, and we were friends then. And I've watched the Wiggles, change from being a rock and roll band into being a kids early learning, for kids, and they've done it with such incredible style. They've worked so hard. I look at these guys and I just can't believe the amount of work and the amount of effort and the amount of attention to detail that they do with children. They really care about kids. So when I wrote these stories and this book and the songs that I've written for the kids, I wrote them for my grandkids, right? Particularly one of them, Dylan. And I took them to the Wiggles because I thought these were the guys that know more about it than anybody else in the world about getting these things done. And the way they helped me through this stuff was just incredible. They're powerhouses of guys.
Absolutely. Now, when I walked into the studio this morning, Robbie's like, what's this album that and book that Jimmy's released with the Wiggles? He's tried to pronounce it. I want him to say it to you, because I got Scottish family. I got the Scottish blood in me, so I know how to say it. Robbie, have a crack.
Okay. Ok ai da nagu. Not even close.
It's sort of close, but it's a GNU. It's a GNU.
The GNU.
GNU, okay, the GNU. See, what happened was this was my one of my grandsons, my youngest daughter Ellie Mae is married to a Scotsman, right? So Ellie's half Thai and half Scottish, and so that makes the grandson 3/4 Scottish. The Thai genes didn't get a Guernsey. When he was born, he's got red hair, blue eyes, and white skin. He looks like a little Scotsman, right? So my wife used to talk to him when he's in the cot, and I hear her talking, and she'd be trying to talk Scottish to him, saying, okay, the new, which literally means, yes, right now. I've just seen him, right now. So I'm a bit deaf from 40 years of rock and roll. I thought she was calling him a GNU. So I started going, how are you, the GNU, So I started, calling him a GNU, and it stuck. So at night, I'd go in his room to tell stories to them, when they were putting to bed. And rather than have the light on, I'd just have the light off, and I'd make stories up for them, and I'd include him in the stories. So the stories all became about this GNU from Scotland who lived in a zoo. So that's where the books and the albums came from.
That's really cool. So with the album, are you actually singing or are you the narrator?
I'm both. I'm narrator. I'm the GNU.
The GNU.
The GNU. And the GNU sounds like a cross between sort of Billy Connolly, me, and Mrs. Doubtfire. We just got in there. We were just having fun, and the guys in the Wiggles are going, "Oh, can you do this for us? You be the GNU." And I said, "Okay." So I start singing it, and they go, "Can you make it more Scottish?" So I bunged it on a lot, and then so it sounds like this. I'm like Billy Connolly on a good night out.
That's so good. And I guess the other contrast to this book is your other book, Working Class Boy. Congratulations on the success of that.
Yeah, it's done very well. Which it makes in a way it sort of makes me sad. I connected with a lot of people. The issues that I wrote about in this book were stuff. This is the stuff that I locked away in my memory and hidden away because I didn't want to look at this anymore. When I was young, we were abused and bloody, was hungry. We lived in poverty. We lived with domestic violence, and this is stuff that when I left home, I just didn't think about this stuff again. But it was affecting me. It was killing me. So writing about this, it was good to get it out, and it was good that it's done so well. But it also meant that I've met a lot of people who've been through the same stuff as I went through, which is it's sad. It's sad to think that in a country like Australia, where we've got everything, there's still kids living in poverty. There's still people dying from domestic violence. So it's a double-edged sword for me. It's sort of I'm happy it's doing so well, and I'm happy that people like my writing. But I'm sad that so many people connect. You've
been really busy. We said that at the top of the interview, that you're really busy. The tour ends, the Stories and Songs ends next week, and your first show will be in May. Have you got anything planned in between those two shows?
I'm about 2/3 of the way through the book, the second book, which picks up where the other one left off at 17 years old. So I've got to spend some time at home, sit at my desk and do some work.
No rest for the wicked there, Barnesy.
No rest for the wicked, mate. But it's an enjoyable thing to do, sitting in my house, looking out the window and watching the rain and writing. It's a good thing to do.
Well, you can catch Jimmy at the Kimberley Moon Experience, a part of the Ord Valley Muster. It's happening from May 19 to 28. For details, ordvalleymuster.com.au. Grab yourself a copy of one of his two books, one for the kiddies, one for the adults, and it's sure to be a great show there. Jimmy, thank you very much.
Nice to talk to you guys. All the best.
Absolute legend. Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Oh, okay, the Nagoo, was it?
That's terrible. Sorry, mate.
That's all right, mate. You did well. See ya.
Stay connected with Robbie and Adam on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Search Red FM WA.